Hey everybody, this is James Hernandez. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing good, and welcome to another anime review video that I'm going to be doing. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be reviewing another Dragon Ball Z movie, which I haven't been covering a Dragon Ball Z movie ever since I did my review for Dragon Ball Z Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, and I think that was was it like 2 years or 3 years ago? I don't remember, but maybe it might be 2 years. But anyways, so today I'm going to be reviewing pretty much it's the 18 Dragon Ball Z movie, and that is going to be Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. So Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods is a Dragon Ball Z movie that came out in 2013, and this one is also the 18th film of the Dragon Ball movie series based on the manga and anime series. So let's talk about the story of this movie, shall we? So in this one, it centers around the god of destruction named Lord Beerus, along with Whis, as they discover that Goku is the Saiyan that actually destroyed Frieza. So they decided to visit King Kai's planet, which Goku has been hanging out at, and Lord Beerus wants to challenge Goku into a battle, and then Goku accepts it, and then he shows Beerus all three of his Super Saiyan forms: Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. So when he was sparring with Beerus actually gives him like a really good fight, and it was actually pretty quick, and he decided that he wants to go visit Earth. While that's going on Earth, Goku's friends and family are having a party celebrating Bulma's birthday. And and everything was good, but then Bulma was actually not happy when she discovers that Goku and even her husband Vegeta are training to save the day from when the some of the villains were coming to Earth to destroy Earth. But Vegeta actually did come out from training and get to come to Bulma's birthday. And then Lord Beerus and Whis arrive, and then they were invited to come to Bulma's birthday, and they were pretty much having a great time. It's one of those family hangout moments, which is very nice. And then things took a terrifying turn when Beerus was asking Majin Buu to share the puddings with him, but Majin Buu refuses, and then it makes Lord Beerus so mad that he decided that he wants to destroy Earth. So then the Z fighters are trying to held off against Beerus, but then things don't go very well because Beerus outwitted them. And then until Goku arrives on Earth, and now it's all up to Goku to stop Lord Beerus from destroying Earth. So I heard that this movie is actually tend to be the second time that Dragon Ball Z has been released theatrically in theaters ever since the other Dragon Ball movie, which I don't know what Dragon Ball movie it was. It could be based on Dragon Ball, but this one has been the second theatrical release Dragon Ball Z movie ever since the original Dragon Ball film based on the original Dragon Ball series came out. So after watching Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, what do I think of it? I actually really enjoy this movie. Now, there are some small problems I have, but just like in every reviews of animes or video games or comics or even movie reviews and throughout my videos, I'm always going to start with the positives and then I'll get to the nitpicks later. So let's first talk about the animation. The animation in this is so beautiful. Whatever there's an animated movie based on a TV show, it always comes off as the animation in animated films based on the TV series is just actually just as beautiful or just even much better than the animation from the cartoons. Not to say the animation in the cartoons are bad, but if you watch it on television, then would be pretty acceptable. But with Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, it actually looks really nice, especially with those Super Saiyan elements, especially when you get to see Lord Beerus and Whis and you go back to Earth when you get to see Goku's friends celebrating Bulma's birthday. Is actually very, very beautiful to look at. And I got to give the animators, especially from Toei Animation, credit for making the animation just as gorgeous. I mean, Toei Animation is the animation company that did Dragon Ball Z, they did Digimon, and I think they did Sailor Moon as well. And I don't remember the other animes that Toei Animation is known for doing, but I remember they did Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, as well as Sailor Moon. So yeah, the animation in this is just very nice. And I think the animators did a wonderful job. So I got to give props to the animators. Now, the next thing I want to talk about the characters really quick. Now, if you guys are very familiar with Dragon Ball Z, even if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan just like me, then we all know all these characters. Like we got to see Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Bulma, Chi-Chi, Videl, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. And we also got to see Hercule Satan, got to see Majin Buu, got to see Bulma's parents, and we also got to see Lord Beerus and Whis, which they also appeared in Dragon Ball Super. Now the thing is about this movie is that I heard some people say that this movie is sort of canon to like Dragon Ball Super because this one is actually like mixing the first 17 episodes of Dragon Ball Super, while others will say, oh, well, it's technically like not technically canon to the Dragon Ball community, which I'm not sure which either of them is true or false. But I'm gonna be totally unbiased on it. But don't worry. But don't get me wrong, guys. I have watched Dragon Ball Super. I did watch one of the episodes of Dragon Ball Super. I just when it comes to like these movies that are either canon or not, it's really hard for me to explain, even as an anime fan myself. Excuse me. Let's talk about the like I said, the characters are just iconic. There's not much I can say about like Goku himself or even Vegeta, Piccolo, Bulma, Chi-Chi, Kid Trunks, Goten, Gohan, Videl, Hercule Satan, Majin Buu. Like, not much I can say about these characters because, like, when it comes to anime characters, they're just iconic. And I really love all these characters. Like, they're so likable, they're so funny, they're so relatable, and I just really love them all. Like, there isn't even like a Dragon Ball Z character that I actually disliked because these characters really does hold a special place in my heart, especially like when I first got into Dragon Ball when I was watching the first season of Dragon Ball Z and even like watched one of the non-canon Dragon Ball Z movies. Now, as for the voice acting, now when it comes to anime, I mostly watch the dubs. And I know some people will be like, oh, but wait a minute, like dubs are not as good as the subs. The subs are always better. Well, yeah, but like there are times where I felt like the sub is, there's some animes where subs can sound better than the dubs, but there are some animes that actually has the dubs where I thought it was actually a million times better. Like Dragon Ball Z, like I thought the English voice cast actually did a very good job. Like I like the actor for Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo. I like the actress of Bulma and Chi-Chi, and even Hercule Satan. Even Lord Beerus, who is like was the new character in this movie, especially when we got to see him and Whis in Dragon Ball Super. I think they all did a very good job with their voices. I don't think anybody was annoying. I thought everybody did a great job, and I think they're so likable, and I think their voices actually fit the characters very well. And I don't have any problems with one of their voice acting. And I want to also talk about the action scenes. Now, the action is where like when either Beerus trains with Goku for the first time, or even Beerus basically gets mad just because Majin Buu doesn't want to share the pudding with him, is actually pretty cool. And there's actually one scene I actually wanted to talk about, and that is where like the fans of Dragon Ball Z basically just was celebrated while they also gasp at the same time. And that is the scene like where Bulma finally has enough with the action, and she felt like that her 38th birthday was ruined. So she smacked Beerus, and then Beerus smacked Bulma, and that pisses Vegeta off, and he just turned Super Saiyan, and he was like, "That's my Bulma!" And then everyone was like cheering because of like, despite that Vegeta does have a very arrogant attitude, and he's very like, he's always like wants to be like the best Saiyan, then wants to defeat Goku. But he actually really does care about his wife Bulma, and he does care about his family and friends, despite how arrogant he is. So when Vegeta actually saw Beerus smack Bulma right in front of him, he snapped, and then he flies up to Beerus when he turns Super Saiyan, and he flies up to him and he was like, "You bastard!" And then he just like has like a sparring match with Beerus, and it really shows that like that Vegeta, despite his arrogance, really does love his wife, and you really felt for him, and you really felt bad for Bulma when she actually gets smacked. Even though getting smacked by Bulma, even getting smacked by a girl, I think it's beyond worse, you know. So yeah, like that moment right there is just crazy. Like when Vegeta snapped, when Beerus smacked Bulma right in front of him and right in front of everybody. Even Master Roshi saw this right in the act in front of him, and he was like, "Holy crap!" Like that smack that Beerus gave to Bulma actually really caught Vegeta off guard, and that's when Vegeta, like, he tried so desperately to try to defeat Lord Beerus, but not even Vegeta was even a match for Lord Beerus, because Lord Beerus just basically just like outclassed him. And then as soon as Lord Beerus was about to destroy everybody, especially destroy the planet, Goku arrives just in time, and then he actually begs Beerus not to kill anybody that he loves, especially the planet, because we all know that Beerus is a god of destruction. But Beerus is not always like a big bad guy like how he is, because or even like one of the other Dragon Ball Z villains in like either in the show or even like in the non-canon movies, where they're just basically like the over the top like villains, and they just want to be like, "Oh, I'm evil, I'm gonna destroy Earth, and I'm gonna kill Goku," and all that, which I kind of felt like it comes a bit cliche when the villains are just like being villains and they just don't have like a personality. But Beerus, on the other hand, he's not really a villain. Like he is known as the god of destruction, but he's not always like the villain that actually wants to like kill people. Like he's just literally like just like a laid back purple cat. Even though I kind of first thought he was like a bunny rabbit because of like his ears kind of reminds me a bit like Bugs Bunny from Looney Tunes. But yeah, but obviously he is a cat, and he's usually like a laid back person. Even Whis is a laid back person, and what I find it really funny in this movie, especially in Dragon Ball Super, is that when Beerus actually was like fighting the Z fighters, Whis has like nothing to do with it, because he's just like pretty much like minding his own business, and he usually would just like focus on eating the food, and he was like, "Oh, this is delicious. Mind if I have like another piece? Mmm, that's so good." And then I was just like, yeah, I kind of relate to Whis. Like I just like to like to eat some really good food and just chill and just like mind my own business. Like whenever some people like out there, especially the people in the real world nowadays, just want to like to start their shenanigans. It's just literally like what Whis is is pretty much like acting like. So and then like when Goku was about to turn Super Saiyan God, um, yeah, his hair actually does look like the the actual Goku, but with red hair. But when he was fighting Beerus, it's actually a lot fun, and I actually thought it was really cool. And then the design of him in his Super Saiyan God form, especially when he has like flames around him, actually looks pretty cool. Like it kind of reminds me of like one of those like flammable characters, like the Human Torch from the Fantastic Four, Firestorm from DC, or even like Cinder from Killer Instinct. And I thought the animation on the Super Saiyan God form actually looks really, really cool. And I thought the action scene, like the final battle between Goku and Lord Beerus, was pretty cool. Now, now let's go on to the problems I have with the movie, because like as much as I do enjoy this movie, I do have some small problems. But it's not a really big criticism. But I do have some small complaints. So the first issue I had with this Dragon Ball Z movie is that I wish that there was more action scenes, because I felt like there's not enough action sequences in this movie, because that's what the Dragon Ball Z, like not just the films but also the show and the manga is known for having, is like having like one of those action sequences whatever, like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Trunks are about to fight the villains like Lord Frieza or Perfect Cell. Like the action, like when there is action, is actually a lot of fun. Whereas in this one, like now I'm not saying the action scenes are bad, but the action scenes are good. But I kind of wish there was like more action scenes. And when I was watching this movie, there was like moments where it just really kind of feels pretty slow, and I was just like, is this what's going on? Like, what happened to the like one of those action sequences? But like I said, not to say the action was bad in here, because the action scenes, like especially when Goku was fighting Lord Beerus at the end of the film, was actually really cool. And yeah, I think that's like one of my nitpicks I kind of had with Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, but everything else I thought it was really good. And I also really like the sequences where Goku's friends and family were just like hanging out, and it really does feel like a very relaxing like family hangout kind of movie, kind of like the 2009 anime film Summer Wars, which I actually have like seen Summer Wars like years ago, especially when it airs on Toonami on Adult Swim during Christmas time. But once I get that movie on either on DVD or Blu-ray, then I'll watch it and then I'll get my review on that. But yeah, I'll we'll see what happens. But anyways, back to Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. So yeah, like I thought I liked the animation, I liked the story, I liked the characters. I thought the English voice acting was really good. I wish that there was like more action sequences, obviously. And there were some moments where it just kind of feels slow, and there were some moments where it does get like a little too silly, which I understand. Like there are funny moments in like in Dragon Ball Z. It really does have really good comedy, but like when I felt like it tries to be like overly silly, then I just felt like that it really doesn't work. Especially like when the new Marvel movies in the MCU that we kind of got nowadays, they just want to focus more on the jokes, and rather than just being like a superhero film that we must see. Yeah, it really kind of like just ruins like the elements of like superhero films. But this one doesn't really like ruin the elements of Dragon Ball Z, because like I said, I actually really like this movie. It does have some good funny moments. It's got some really cool action scenes. And I want to talk about the ending of this movie. Now the ending, like unlike the other Dragon Ball Z movies in the non-canon series, this movie actually ends like with Goku and Beerus actually have like a good match. And I like that it wasn't like, oh, the villain is dead and like the Earth is saved. I mean, the Earth is saved and all, but I like that they didn't actually do like a very like a stereotypical ending where the bad guy always dies by at the hands of the hero. I like that Lord Beerus was like, okay, I had a really good match with you, Goku. Me and Whis are gonna go home. I'm sorry for all this chaos that I caused, and I want to apologize to Bulma for slapping her in the first place by ruining her birthday. I promise I'll never do that again, and I'll never complain about the food. So hope you guys had a great day and all that. And then also, so I thought that was nice, like I thought that was really good. And also like towards like by the end of the movie ends so funny, because it turns out that Goku was teasing Vegeta about when he says "my Bulma" when he just like tends to fight Beerus, and then Bulma comes up to Vegeta, and then she was like, "Oh, that's my hero, my Prince Charming," and then Vegeta was like, "What? I don't remember saying that." And then and then Goku actually said something so hilariously stupid just by saying, "Oh, so if that happens again, we just need the villain to slap Bulma, and then everything will be fine." And that's where Bulma actually snapped, and then she smacked Goku in the face. And then Piccolo realizes that Goku actually has been watching the whole fight this whole time when he uses his instant transmission. And I was like, "What?" Like Goku has been like watching the whole fight the whole time before Lord Beerus was about to blow up everybody. Like, why didn't he just like announce himself in the first place? And then Goku was like, "Oh, come on, I'm sorry, it was just an accident." And then like Vegeta was like, "Bulma, I believe Kakarot like deserves more of your signature slaps." And then Bulma's like, "Oh, he sure does." And then Goku was trying to apologize by saying sorry, and then like the camera goes up to the sky, and then you hear like Bulma slapping Goku again, and then Goku kept saying "ow, ow, ow," and that's how the movie ends. Like I was just like, oh my god, like because sometimes like Goku can be kind of a bit full of himself, and sometimes he kind of does do stupid things, but still he is a very heroic character, and he's actually one of the greatest Dragon Ball Z, not just Dragon Ball Z, but also like one of the most heroic anime characters in the anime universe. So yeah. So guys, I think that's my overall thoughts on Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. I actually really enjoyed this movie. The animation is beautiful. It's got great voice cast in the English dub. I love the characters from the Dragon Ball series. and it's just overall just a very good Dragon Ball Z movie. There were some small problems, but overall I really enjoy this. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. There were some small problems that I have with the movie, and there were some stuff that it feels too silly, and there were some moments where it kind of drags, and I wish there was more action. But when there is action, it's actually really good. And when everything is good, I really enjoy this movie. So I definitely recommend this movie to every Dragon Ball Z fan. So go get this on DVD and Blu-ray and go buy it. So folks, that is my review for Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, and I would love to hear from you guys. Like, what did you guys think of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods? Have you guys seen it? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Let me know in the comments below. And also feel free to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and turn on the notifications when I make future videos. And stay tuned that I'm going to be reviewing the next video game called Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro for the PlayStation 1. Since I have already covered the first Spider-Man game for the PlayStation 1, now up next I'm going to be covering the sequel. So hope you guys enjoy my review for Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. Hope you guys had a good day, and take good care of yourselves.